Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the difference between a list and a set? Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. So what is the difference between a list and a set? Both are the interfaces in collections framework, guys. List is one of the predefined interface in collections framework, and at same time set is another predefined interface under the collections framework. So what is the difference between these two interfaces? I'm going to explain one by one now. Okay. So first thing about the list is it allows indexing. Okay. It allows indexing. Elements can be accessed by using their index. The first element will be stored at the index 0, second element will be stored at the index 1, third element will be stored at the index 2, like that. That is what is indexing, guys. But in set, we don't have any indexing concept. Okay, elements cannot be accessed using index here. Okay, in set, we cannot access the elements using the index, whereas in list, we can access the elements using their index. And the other important thing that you have to understand about the difference between list and set is the major or popular implementation of this interface. Okay, there are multiple classes in collections framework, which are the child classes of this list interface. But array list is a major one or popular one that most of the people use. Similarly, coming to the set, right, the popular implementation of this particular interface, the child class which is implementing the interface set is there are multiple classes which are implementing the set. Out of that, hash set is a popular one. Okay, so when I'm taking examples for explaining all these differences, right, in case of list, I'll use the array list, and in case of set, I'll use the popular implementation of that interface hash set. Okay, to explain all these differences, first I'll cover the indexing and non-indexing, no indexing concept of the list and set. Further, I'll go with a practical demonstration, guys. I will switch to the Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just go into create a new class. I'll just name this class as list versus set demo. Okay. With main method, I'm going to create, click on finish. Okay. So first, I'm going to create a list. Okay. But you already know in Java that you cannot create an object for the interfaces. So list and set are interfaces. Can you create object for the list or set interface? It's not possible. You will get error saying that cannot instantiate the list or set kind of stuff. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to create an object for its child class, like popular child class like array list, and that object of the child class we have to assign to the variable that is declared with the list interface. That will be possible. Okay. I cannot directly create an object for the list interface. You see, list is equal to new list. This is not possible, guys. This is not possible. Hold the mouse on this and import this list from Hold the mouse on this list and import this from java.util package. But still you will get an error here saying that this particular list cannot instantiate. Okay, cannot instantiate the type list. That means you cannot create an object for the interface. So though you cannot create an object for the list interface, you can create an object for its child class which is implementing this parent interface known as list, known as one of the popular child class which is actually implementing the parent interface list is array list. I can create an object for the array list. Hover the mouse on this and import this. Okay, import this array list from java.util package. Now the object of the child class can be assigned to the variable of the variable that is declared with the list interface. And here some warning message is coming, yellow color warning message. So I have to provide the generic type depending on the type of the objects that you would like to store into this list. So here, let's say integer. I'll simply say integer, guys. And here, I'll add some elements into this list. List.add, I'll say 9. Then list.add, I'll say 5. List.add 1. Then list.add, then 7. Then list.add 6. List.add. I'll add good number of elements, guys. Let's see what is happening. 2. List.add. Then 4. List.add. 3. Then list.add. 8. Then list.add. Okay, some 22 list dot add, some 11 list dot add, then 99 like that. I am adding a lot of elements here, and list dot add 77 or 73 otherwise. Okay, 73. That's enough. Good number of elements we have added to the list here. Okay, by creating an object for the array list and assigning to the variable of which is declared with the list interface, I'm able to add all these elements. Now, this first element will be stored at the index 0, guys. Okay, the second element will be stored at the index 1. The third element will be stored at the index 2. Third element, fourth element at the index 3. Fifth element at the index 4. Sixth element at the index 5. Seventh element at the index 6. Then index 7, eighth element, index 8, ninth element, index 9, 10th element, index 10, 11th element, index 11, 12th element, and index 12, 13th element. Okay, like this, starting from 0 to 12, this many number of elements are there, right? They are being stored at a particular index. So in list, we have the indexing concept. In list, we have the indexing concept. And if you want to access these particular elements, okay, any particular element you want to access, right? You can access with the help of their index case. For example, system.out.println list.get of. You have to give the index case. For example, I would like to access 4. What is the index I have to give? 6. If I say list.get of 6, using the index, I can access the elements in this list. So run this code. 4 will be printed in the output, guys. 4 will be printed in the output. Just see that 4 will be printed in the output because at the index 6 in this list, we have 4. Okay. At the index 6, we have 4. So that's the advantage of the indexing, guys. Okay. Elements can be accessed using their index because of the indexing concept. Okay. But instead, we don't have such kind of indexing concept, guys. Instead, we don't have such kind of indexing concept. What if I create a set here? I cannot create directly an object for the set interface because you already know that. But in interface in Java, we cannot create an object. Control Shift O, and set will be imported from java.util package. And this constructor, you can see that cannot instantiate the type set is coming. That means you cannot create an object for the interface. So we have to create an object for the one of the popular child class of this parent interface known as set interface, that is hash set. We have to create an object for the hash set and import this hash set from java.util package. This is okay. Creating an object for the child class and assign to the variable of the parent interface. But warning is coming. I'll just give the same thing integer. Here also integer only I'll give. The type of the objects I would like to store into the set is the integer. And here, set dot, again the same add method is there. I'll just copy all these values, guys. All these values I'll copy. The same way, just in place of the list, I'll add set, 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 set. Just change the list to set, guys, so that they will be added to the hash set or set. So set. Here, no indexing concept. Here, the first element will not be stored at the index 0. Second element will be stored at the index. It's not like that, okay? There is no indexing concept in the form of, in the set or hash set, we don't have any indexing concept. Okay, that's another difference. Here, no indexing concept, guys. That's the main thing. If you want to access the elements of this set with the help of an index, it won't be possible, guys. You say set dot, we don't have any method to access a particular element here, okay? So we don't have a particular method or something like get of index kind of method to access the elements available at a particular index because there is no indexing concept, okay? So no indexing concept. So elements cannot be accessed using the index. There's no methods like get method, etc. to access the elements using the index. That is possible in the list. Now, the next one is, okay, the next one is here, it allows duplicates case, okay? Because of the indexing concept here, you can add the duplicates. Already, this particular list has element 9, okay? I'll add the 9 again, add of 9, one more 9 I'll add. It doesn't matter, guys, because this particular 9 is at the index 13, whereas this particular 9 is at the index 0. Since they are at a different index, duplicates are allowed. So what I will do here is, I'll simply write down system.out.println. I'll just print out the list, guys. I'll just print out the list to see what is happening. Right click, run as Java application. Just print out the list and see that duplicates will be accepted, guys. You see, 9, 5, 1, 7, 6, 2. Already 9 is there here. Again, at the end also 9 is there. So duplicate values are allowed because this first 9 is at the index 0 and the last 9 is at the index 13. So doesn't matter. Duplicates are allowed. What about here? What if I have added 9 here, which is a duplicate thing? Here 9 is already there. Again, I'm adding 9. System.out.println. If I print the set here, understand what is going to happen here. 9, no error will come, but duplicate will be ignored. 1, 2, 3, 99, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see only one 9 is there. Any other? Another 9 is there here? No, only one 9 is coming. Only one 9 is coming. Okay, only one 9 is there in this particular printed set. Only one 9 is there. Even though you added multiple 9s, only one 9 is considered. Another 9 is ignored, guys. Another 9 got ignored. Okay, if it is a duplicate, it will be ignored. It will not give any errors, but duplicates are not allowed. But when duplicates are added, right, they will be ignored without giving any compiler error. Instead, okay, they will be ignored, guys. Okay, allows duplicates, doesn't allow duplicates. Fine. Then coming to the indexing, you allow understood, and allows list allows duplicates, whereas set doesn't allow duplicates, and also it will not give any compiler error. Rather the duplicate element will be ignored automatically. Only one element out of the duplicate elements will be considered. Okay. Then the third one here, the difference between the list and set is it is an ordered collection. The order of the insertion is preserved because of the indexing concept, right? The way in which you added the elements. First you added what? 9. That got stored at the index 0. So the insertion order of this 9 will be preserved. So whenever you print the list, right, the 9 only will be printed first because it got stored at the index 0, then 5 will be printed, then 1 will be printed, 7, 6, 2, 4, 3, 8, 22, 11, 99, 73, 9. Like that, they will be, they will be stored in the computer memory in the same order in which you have inserted or added into this list. So that's the reason when you print the list, right, here in the output, you see that the same order in which you have added these elements to the list, right, the same order is preserved. You see 9, which is at the index 0, is preserved, then 5, 1, 7, you can see that 9, 1, 5, 7, 6, 2, 4, 3, 8, 22, 11, 99, 73, 9, 99, 73, 9. Same order. The same order in which you have added the elements to the list, the same order, they will be stored in the memory, computer memory. Okay, the order is preserved. Okay, order is preserved here. Okay, that's why it's called as an ordered collection. Okay, list is called as an ordered collection. What about the set, guys? In set, the order is not preserved because there is no indexing concept. Since indexing concept is not there, there is no way of preserving the order in which the elements got added to the set or has set. So random order or unordered collection, you can say. That's the reason when you print the set, right, in the output, what you got, you didn't have the same order. You see 9, 5, 1, 7, 6, 2, 4, 3, 8, 22, 11, 99, 73, 9. It's not there. You see, they came in a this is not ascending order, guys, because you say somewhere 99 is there, somewhere 73 is there, somewhere 11 is there. It's a random order. Okay, it doesn't maintain any order. It randomly takes particular order according to its algorithm and all. Asset or set will store these elements in a kind of random order. There is no ascending or descending order also. This is a random order because you see, if ascending is there, right, 99 should come at the end, but 99 is in between, means it will randomly store the elements into the memory. So insertion order will not be preserved. Rather, in random way, the elements will be stored into the computer memory. Already told you that popular implementation of the list is array list. I already have implemented here. I create an object for the array list class, which is a child class of the list interface, and assign to the variable of the list interface to help you understand this difference between list and set. Here, the popular implementation of the set is a hash set. So that's the reason we create an object for the hash set and assign to the variable of the set interface to explain all these differences. So the last and final thing, guys, is where is the list useful? When in which situations we use the list in our programming. We use list in programming for all these reasons where you don't you want to allow the duplicates, you want the insertion order to be preserved, you want the indexing concept to be there. Okay, if all these are the reasons, right, you will go with the list. Apart from that, one more usefulness of the list is random access to elements, because you can easily access any particular element in the list by using its index. Okay, if you want a particular element, if you know the index of that element, you can access it. Okay, so random access to the elements using their index is possible. That's where is the situation where if you want to allow the duplicates and want to access the elements using this indexing concept, and you want the order in which the insertion happened to be preserved, then you will go with the list, guys. But when you will go with the set, you will go with the set when you don't want to allow the duplicates. You want the duplicates to be ignored, and you don't want to store the elements in a particular preserved order, rather random order is okay for you in that cases. And mainly guys, when you want to do a fast lookup means what? If you want to find an element in the set, right? If you want to find an element that is stored in the set, right, it will be very faster when compared to finding the element in the list. The operations like add, remove, and contains are faster here in case of the set. Okay, because of the 0-1 time complexity for basic operations like add, remove, and contains, the fast lookup is possible in set, whereas in list is generally used not for fast lookup but for randomly accessing the elements based on their index. We go with the list. Okay, there's an additional usefulness and all those stuff, but set doesn't allow duplicates, no indexing concept, order is not preserved, and fast lookup purpose, we go with the set. But for allowing the duplicates, indexing concept should be there, insertion order should be preserved, and at the same time, random access to the element should be possible by using their index. In such kind of requirement situations, we go with the list. So these are the programs, guys. These are the programs I covered today. You want to take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot here. You can take a screenshot, guys. Okay, I don't think fine. Yeah, now this is good. Now you can take a screenshot, guys. Okay, you can take the screenshot of this code. Hope that you have taken the screenshot of this code so that you can practice in your machine, guys, later. So that's all for this session, guys. That's all for this session. I'll also copy this code here and in practical demonstration as part of the notes I'll provide. The code coming. No. Control Z. Simply write here code. Okay. Practical demonstration, and this is the code. Okay, this is the code of the practical demonstration. So guys, hope guys you got the answer for this question. So what is the difference between a list and a set? Hope you got the answer with practical and theoretical explanation, practical demonstration and theoretical explanation. Hope you got the answer for this question. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the purpose of using constructors in Java? Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. First of all, the straightforward answer for this question, that is, what is the purpose of using constructors in Java, is constructors simplify the process of initializing the class variables for each and every object. Okay, what does that mean? You see, when you create object for a class, okay, using that particular object reference, you have to initialize the variables of that particular class, and this process has to be done for each and every object that you are going to create for the class. Each and every variable in the class has to be initialized for each and every object that you are going to create for the class. There are multiple ways of initializing the class variables for each and every object in Java programming, but the best and simplified way of the best and simplified way of initializing the class variables for each and every object in Java is possible with the help of constructors. Okay, so as part of the practical demonstration, I'm going to show you the multiple ways of initializing the class variables for each and every object of the class without using the constructors first. After that, I'll show you what is the advantage of using constructors and how does it simplify the process of initializing the class variables for each and every object of the class in Java. Okay, so let's get started with the practical demonstration to get a better understanding of this answer for this particular interview question. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE. Here we have a package already created, constructors. Under this package, I'm going to create a class. I'll just name this class as car class. Click on finish. Inside this class, I'm going to create some variables and some methods. You can create hundreds of variables, hundreds of methods inside this class, but I'm going to create only few variables and few methods, like for example, string model, string, okay, string company, otherwise string company, string model. Like this, I'll create some variables for this car class. Similarly, I'll create some sample methods. That is public void start car. This will start the car. And here I'll write down system.out.println. Here I'll write down double quotes car having model, that is plus model plus model and car having the otherwise company plus company, this particular company variable, and price plus price here has sorry here model, right? Model, and this model has started. Okay, similarly I'll write down public void stop car, public void stop car, system.out.println, car having same thing as car having company, which company, this company, okay, and yes, space should be there, space, not no need of any space, and model, which model, this particular model, okay, and this particular model has stopped. Like this, some sample variables and methods I created inside the car class as a template. There are two variables and two methods. Guys, car having the company and model has started. Car having the company and model has stopped. Okay, like this, I created some two variables and two methods. Okay, now if you want to, guys, if you want to create object for the car class, let's say I'll create a class here. I'll just name this class as some demo class containing some main method. Let's create a main method here. That is main control space you say and press enter. The main method code will automatically come. Okay. Now, if you create an object for the car class, how to create an object for the car class? Car. Let's say some Honda Amaze car I will take. HAMZ is equal to new car. Like this, one of the object I created. If I want to use this object reference of this car class, okay, I created one object, guys, and using the object reference of this particular object of the car class, what I will do, I'll initialize this class variables. Okay, without using the constructor, I'm initializing the class variables. That is hamz.company is equal to, the name of the company is Honda company, Honda, and the model hamz.model is equal to which model? Amaze model. Okay, like this. Now hamz.start car, hamz.stop car. Here I initialize the class variables, and if I run the code, guys, the main method, actually this is not going to work because here I have to name this as right click, rename this, refactor this, refactor, where is the refactor? Refactor, rename the Java file to demo, because the one that has the main method should be rename, finish, and here write public here, and remove the public from here. If you are creating multiple classes in the same Java file, right, this should be the case. What is the problem here? Demo is correct only, right? Hover the mouse on this. It's already defined it. Okay, here it is there. Here car, just mention that as car. Okay, done. Now here I have to say car. Okay, so like this you have to write, guys, create the car class. Okay, create the car class as a template, and here I created the demo class containing the main method. It should be public, guys. The name of the file should match with the name of the class having the public access modifier. If you have multiple classes in the same Java file, that's okay. But this class we are using as a template for creating the objects and all. Now I can run the code, guys. Right click, run as Java application. This main method will run. Always save. Okay. You will see that car having the company Honda and model Amaze has started. Car having the company Honda and model Amaze has stopped. Like that, only one object I created, guys. I can create multiple objects. That is car SVDI, that is Swift VDI is equal to new car. Another car I am taking as an example. SVDI dot company is equal to Swift company. Company. Maruti is the name of the company, guys. Okay. You can also say that MSVDI, this object difference. MSVDI dot model of the car is equal to Swift VDI, Swift VDI. And then write down MS VDI dot start car, MS VDI dot stop car. Okay. Another object I created here, I initialize the class variables for this particular second object also by using this object reference. Okay, by using this object reference. Now, if I want to create more objects, I can create, guys. One more object I'll create. Okay, car. Okay, BMW X1 is equal to new car. One more object. Last one, guys. New car I'm creating, and here I'll write down BMW X1 dot company is BMW is a company. Okay, BMW is a company. BMW is a company. Then BMW X1 dot model is equal to X1 is a model. X1 is a model. Okay. Then BMW X1 dot start car, BMW X1 dot stop car. Okay, like this I'll write. Okay, so 3 objects I created, guys. For each and every object, I have used this kind of object reference to initialize the class variables for each and every object. Run this code and you will see that see, car having the company Honda and model Amaze has started. Car having the company Honda and model Amaze has stopped. Car having the company Maruti and model Swift VDI has started. Car having the company Maruti and model Swift VDI has stopped. Car having the company BMW and model X1 has started. Car having the company BMW and model X1 has stopped. Like this, you'll get the output. Okay, that's good. But the way of initializing the class variables for each and every object that I'm creating here is not a good way. Tomorrow, if there are 10 variables here, this 10 lines I have to write for each and every object. That's not a good process. Rather, I would like to reduce that multiple lines for each and every object for initializing the class variables for the objects into a single line. For that, one technique is that instead of using this object reference for initializing the class variables, here I'll create a method here, guys. Public void initialize. Okay, initialize variables method. Okay, or you can name it short, guys. Init method, like that. You can give some name, guys. Okay, it's a method, guys. It's nothing but a method which is having the different name from the class name, so it's a method. Okay, here I'm going to write string company string model. Okay, like the same string company string model I'm writing. Now to this particular company I have to assign this company. Okay, so this dot company, if I say this dot company, that will become this company, guys, is equal to company. This normal company is a parameter. Normal company is a, if you double click here, parameter is getting highlighted. If you double click on this dot company, the class variable company is, okay. This dot company will decide the class variable and normal company is a parameter. Okay, this dot model is equal to model I'll write. Okay, so this particular method is initializing the, okay, initializing the class variables for each and every object. If you call this particular method, right, you don't have to write this many 2 lines of code here. You simply write down HAMZ dot. I'll just go back. Here, instead of writing these 2 lines, right, what I will do is I'll simply call the method, guys, which will initialize it for us. HAMZ dot init method or something, whatever the name you gave here, and here pass the first value you pass into the here. No matter how many variables to be initialized, right, in a single statement, the task will be done. Copy this one. That's it. Now you don't need these 2 lines. Already initializing is done. Here also you can reduce these 2 lines or whatever the number of lines into single line by calling this MS VDI for this particular object. I'm initializing the class variables for the object. Init method. Here I have to pass Maruti. Okay, Swift VDI. Like this I'll write. Now these 2 variables are no more required. Done. Then for this also you can reduce this multiple lines using the object reference for each and every variable of the class. We have to write a separate line. Instead of writing separate lines for each and every variable of the class for every object, okay, what I will do is I'll simply call the method which will initialize for us BMW X1 dot init method, and here I'll pass BMW, and here I'll pass X1. Here I'll pass X1. Like this I'll cover. Remove this. That's it. Put a semicolon here. That's it, guys. Now run this code. Right click, run as Java application. Still the installation will happen. You will get the same output, guys. Honda Amaze started, stopped. Maruti Swift started, Maruti Swift stopped. BMW X1 started, BMW X1 stopped. Okay, it's working still fine. But even I say that this is also not the finalized way. Okay, even though it's simplifying the process of initializing the class variables for each and every object, this particular method, but I will say that still you need one more line. Okay, still you need one more line to be written here in the code to initialize the class variables for each and every object. You have to write this, at least one line you have to write. Oh, I don't want this particular line also. From multiple lines, I made it one line, but from one line, I want to make it 0 lines. How that is possible? Here, if you clearly see, guys, when you create an object for the car class, right, you're already calling a constructor. What if I convert this particular method into a constructor? Constructor will not have the return type, guys. I have to remove void here. And the name of the constructor should be same as the name of the class. So just copy paste the name of the class here. Now this becomes a constructor, guys. In no time, a method has been converted into a constructor. Now I don't have to call the method anymore, guys. These arguments will pass while I'm creating the object itself. So this line is no more required. When you are creating an object, right, the constructor calling statement will automatically be there and it will pass the values. So we don't need any single line to be written in the Java code to initialize the class variables for each and every object. Simply copy paste these arguments, okay, into this constructor, okay, for each and every object. The initialization will be simplified. This is what I call it as simplify the initialization of the class variables for each and every object. You see how many lines of code already got reduced. You see, instead of writing multiple lines, you made it one line with methods. But now even one line got reduced by converting that into a constructor here inside the class. Okay, so run this code and still you'll get the same output, guys. Still you'll get the same output. Honda Amaze has started. Honda Amaze has stopped. Maruti Swift PDI has started. Maruti Swift PDI has stopped. BMW X1 has started. BMW X1 has stopped. Like that, you'll get all the things. Okay, fine, great. So this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. So if you want to have the sample of this code, right? If you want to practice this code in your machine, you can take a screenshot, guys. Okay, you can take the screenshot of this code and practice in your machine to understand the purpose of the constructor. It simplifies the process of initializing the class variables for each and every object. No matter how many objects you create, the process of initializing the class variables for that particular object is done by the constructor here. Okay, there cannot be any more better approach for initializing the class variables for each and every object. That's actually the purpose of the constructors, guys. The main purpose of the constructors or using constructors in Java is to simplify the process of initializing the class variables for each and every object, okay, of the class. So other things also may be there. Automatically, the constructors will be called when you create an object. Those are the additional stuff, but the major advantage of using constructor is to simplify the class variables for each and every object, okay, in an easiest and best way that is not possible with any other stuff, okay. That kind of simplification is not possible with any other ways in Java. So hope guys you have taken the screenshot. So with practical demonstration and theoretical explanation, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, how constructors are different from methods in Java. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. First of all, I'll write about constructors versus methods. What are the differences we have? Coming to the first difference, the constructors doesn't have any return type, no return type. Okay, when compared to methods have return type. Okay, no return type in constructors. Otherwise, I'll write constructor here. In constructor, there is no return type. Okay, constructors will not return anything back. So no return type, including void. We cannot even mention void, the declaration of the constructor. Second thing about the constructor here is the name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. Name of the name should be same as class name. The name of the constructor should be same as a class name. Whereas method can have any of its name. Okay, it may not be same as a class name, but constructor's name should be same as a class name. Though method and constructors look similar, but these are the differences they have in Java, guys. That is, constructors will not have return type. Name of the constructor should match with the name of the class. And the third one is constructors are automatically invoked when you create objects. When we create objects for a class, constructors will be called. Constructors will be constructors will be called. Okay, so these are the main things. Okay, main differences between the constructor and a method. Here I'll write a method and tell you the comparison here. Here no return type. Here at least void should be there. Return type will be there. Return type will be there. Even though the method doesn't return anything, at least void we have to keep. Okay, void or any data type of the data. Void or any data type you have to specify. Okay, data type or class type you can specify. That's okay. Then next one is method name can be anything. Method name can be anything. It may not match with the class name. Can be anything. Okay. No need to match with. No need to match with class name. In case of methods, the name of the methods, no need to match with the class names. Third one is, in order to call the methods, we have to first create objects and using object reference. Okay. By using object reference, we can call the methods of the class. Okay. And the other thing is, there are other ways of calling the methods. Here, simply create an object, and in the calling method, in the object creation statement itself, constructor calling statement will be there. But coming to the methods, there are multiple ways of calling the method. That is, first create an object using the object reference, you can call the method. Or if that particular method is a static method, using the class name, we have to explicitly call the methods. Okay, call the methods. But here explicit calling is there, guys. Explicit calling in either you have to create an object and using the object reference you have to call the method if that is a normal method inside the class. If it is a static method, okay, using the class name, I have to drag it down so that using the class name, we have to explicitly call the static methods. Here also explicit calling, here also explicit. Here we have to use object reference to call the method. Here we have to use okay. Here we have to use to explicitly call the method. Here we have to use class name to explicitly call the methods. But in case of constructors, just by creating object, the constructor will be automatically called. No need to call it explicitly. With practical demonstration, I'm going to explain all these differences between the constructor and methods for you. Okay. So in case of constructors, it simplifies the process of initializing the variables, class variables for the object, guys. The simplest version is with constructors. Methods also simplify, not to the extent of the constructor though. So those are the high level things. Anyhow, the major differences between constructors and methods is something like this. I'm going to show you right now. I'll just open this, and here I'm going to create a new file here. I'll just name this file as let's say demo3 file with main method, and create with main method. Okay, fine. And I'm going to create a class, guys. I'm going to name the class as animal class. Okay, class animal. So this is the class, guys. In this class, I'll create some, I'll create a method, guys. In this class, I'll create a method, say control plus. In this particular class, I'll create a method, guys. So the method name, the method will be like this, guys. Public void run. Okay, run is the name of the method, let's say. Run is the name of the method. You can give any name for the method, guys. It don't have to be same as a class name. Okay, it can have any name. If the method doesn't return anything, at least void return type. This is the return type of the method, guys. What should be there? And here I'll simply say system.out.println animal is running. Okay, just see what are the details of the methods here. Return type will be there. Either void should be there, and based on the type of the data you are returning back to the method calling statement. Okay, we have to provide the return type. At least void return type should be there. methods will have the return type either specified minimum as void, or if a particular data is being written, that particular data type should be written, should be specified in place of this void. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is method name can be anything, guys. You see here, run is the name of the method. Here, animal is the class name. It can be anything. If you create one more method with a different name, you can create, no problem at all. No need to match with the class name. Third one is explicit calling, guys. If you want to call this particular method, you have to explicitly call this particular method, guys. How to explicitly call? Here I need to create an object for the animal class. Animal is equal to new animal. Like this, you need to create an object for the animal class. Okay, you need to create an object for the animal class, and using this object reference, you have to call. Using this object reference, you have to call the run method. Okay, this is one way. Explicitly, you are calling the run method here. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, right click, run as Java application. You see, animal is running, got printed, means the method has been called and got executed also. Or if this particular method is a static method, then I don't have to create the object reference, guys. Directly using the class name, I can call. That is animal dot run, like this. Explicitly, I have to call this run method with the help of the animal class. If that particular method is a static, if that is not static, I have to create an object, and using the object reference, I have to call this particular method. Okay. So these all about the methods, guys. Okay. These all about the methods I mentioned here. Okay. Explicitly, we have to call the methods. But coming to the constructor, constructors will not have return type, guys. Okay. For example, I'll just convert this method into constructor, where I'll remove the return type first. And if I have to convert this particular method, which looks similar to the method, okay, constructors also look similar to the methods, but they don't have any return type, including void if it doesn't return anything. And the return type of and the name of the constructor should be same as the name of the class. I'll copy paste the name of the class here with the constructor, and animal is running is the code which is there inside this. This is a constructor, guys. But how it will be invoked? Further, guys, simply create an object animal is equal to new animal, or even you don't have to write like simply new keyword will create the objects for any classes in Java, right? New animal you type, that's it, guys. You don't have to do anything here. Using the new keyword, you create an object for the animal class, and this is a constructor calling statement, okay, which is automatically invoked, and animal constructor will be called automatically, guys. You don't have to explicitly use any object reference or class name to call the constructor. Directly when you create an object for the class, the constructor of that particular class will be automatically called, and the code inside that particular it's a constructor, right? It is a constructor will get executed. So here, no return type, name should be same as a class name. When we create objects, constructor will be automatically called. Constructors will be automatically called, guys. You don't have to automatically call. You don't have to explicitly call the constructors. Okay, these are the major differences between the constructors and methods. Okay. And these are the major differences, guys. Both can be used for initializing the class variables for objects, but constructor is even simplifies the process of initializing. If you want to add one more point, constructor is better than a method in constructor. structor is better than a method in initializing the class variables for objects in Java. Okay, is better than a method in simplifying the initialization process, initialization of the class variables for objects in Java. This is a proper statement. Okay. When compared to method, constructor is even more better in simplifying the initialization process, initializing of the class variables process for objects in Java, guys. Okay. So if you want to know more details about this particular line, how constructors are better in initializing the class variables for objects than the methods, you just watch the previous interview question answer, guys, where I covered clearly for you what is the purpose of the constructors and how they simplify the process of initializing the class variables for the objects of the classes in Java. Okay, so that you can add as an additional point if you want, but these three are the major points that you have to answer in the interviews. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you guys. You can take a screenshot of this code of the constructor, and how the constructor is automatically called, and you don't have to explicitly. Okay, you don't have to explicitly. For example, here I'll create a method also, guys, public void, okay, run now method. Any name you can give, guys, okay. System.out.println. Here I'll say I am an animal. I am an animal. I'll just print it out in the constructor. And here for this method, I'll say animal is running. Inside the method, we have animal is running, guys. Okay. And I'll create one more method, that is public static void method. Public static void. Okay. Sleep now. Animal is sleeping. I'll print system.out.println. Animal is sleeping. Okay. Like this, this is the constructor, guys, which doesn't have any return type, and the name of the constructor is same as the name of the class name, but these are the methods which have their own names and they have the return type as void. Either they are normal methods or static methods, doesn't matter. Okay, they are not constructors. Okay, so if I have to call a constructor, I don't even have to create an object reference, guys. Simply by using the new keyword, write this statement, and this constructor calling statement will call the constructor automatically. But if you want to call this particular method, you have to create an object reference, guys. Animal is equal to new animal. Okay. Animal is equal to new animal, and say animal dot run now. Okay, run now. Like this, you have to call using the object reference of the class. You have to call this particular method. Unlike constructor, which is automatically called when you create an object. But here, when you create an object, the method will not be called using the object reference of the class. We have to call the method explicitly, or if that particular method, if another method you can see is a static method, such kind of methods can be called with the help of the class names. You don't have to create the object, but you have to use a class name to explicitly call the static method. Sleep now is a static method which we have to use for calling it directly using the class name. So with this demonstration, guys, hope you got everything covered. Okay, so you can take the screenshot of this code, guys. You can take the screenshot of this code where I demonstrated how to call a constructor, how to call the methods which are non-static methods and static methods, okay, explicitly. Okay, and the differences between the constructor and methods you can clearly see in this particular code. Hope you have taken the screenshot of this particular code. So with practical demonstration and theoretical explanation, I've explained what exactly the differences between the constructors and methods are, or how the constructors are different from the methods also is another way of putting the question, like what is the difference between constructors and methods and how constructors are different from methods. The same thing is constructors will not have return type like methods. Constructors will have the name as a class name, whereas methods can have any name. Okay. Then what is the other one, guys? Okay. Constructors will be automatically called when you create an object for the class, but methods, to call the methods, we have to either use the object reference of the object reference, or explicitly we have to call it using object reference, or by using the class name. Explicitly we have to call it with a static method. Okay. On the top of that, the constructor way of simplifying the initialization process for class variables for object is even more better than the methods that I covered in the previous interview questions answer. You can check that, okay, in this series. Fine. So that's all for this session, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.